Rogan questions whether Francis Ngannou has the necessary skill sets to beat Jon Jones. Joe Rogan recently weighed in on a potential heavyweight title clash between Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou. The UFC color commentator believes Jones' elite grappling skills could be a concern for Ngannou, who has been out-wrestled by Stipe Miocic in the past. However, Rogan also lauded Ngannou's impressive wrestling display in his UFC 270 title defense against Ciryl Gane. Regardless, the renowned podcaster isn't convinced that the heavyweight champion's grappling has developed well enough to deal with Jones, who has out-grappled Olympic wrestler Daniel Cormier in the past. Rogan recently told fitness educator Derrick on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, "The question is, has Francis gotten better with grappling? Well, he definitely has because he beat Ciryl Gane with grappling. But has it got to Jon Jones' level? That's the big question. Take a look."
Well, the grappling of Jon Jones is very difficult to deal with. I mean, for a guy like Francis Ngannou, who was primarily a striker and was taken down on multiple occasions by Stipe Miocic and really dominated in their first fight, the question is, has Francis gotten better at grappling? Well, he definitely has, because he beat Ciryl Gane with grappling. That was the fight that he fought with his blown-out leg. And he fought Ciryl Gane, who is a fucking phenomenal striker. I don't know if you saw Ciryl Gane versus Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is Ciryl Gane good. He's so technical, so smooth, and his combinations are and Francis beat him with his grappling. So Francis's grappling, even with a fucked up leg, has gotten a lot better, but hasn't got to Jon Jones levels.
Paddy Pimblett has a condition before accepting Jake Paul's sparring request. Replying to Jake Paul's offer to spar him for $1 million, Paddy Pimblett has seemingly accepted. However, the Liverpudlian has some conditions before he steps into the ring with the problem child. As he prepares for his fight at UFC 282, Paddy Pimblett took some time to discuss Jake Paul's proposition. He claimed that he would spar the YouTuber-turned-boxer in a heartbeat as long as the money is put into escrow first. The thing is, lad, you'd have to get the million put in like an escrow, because I know he'd just bump me. You wouldn't give me $1 million after I beat him up," claimed the English fighter. Take a look at his response.
You're disrespecting the own GOAT of your own sport. You're saying that Anderson Silva is a criminal. I have a proposition for you. Let's spar. Fly to Puerto Rico, I'll get you a private jet.
Knowing full well I'm fighting next week.
If you win, I'll give you $1 million, which is what you deserve to get paid, Paddy. But if I win, you have to join the United Fighters Association. So let's spar. Since you wouldn't rig a fight, I'll fly you out. $1 million
Lad,
for you.
I will spar him.
Put your money where your mouth
Anytime.
is. Let's go.
Anytime. You know what I mean? But the thing is, lad, we'd have to get the million put in like an escrow, because I know he'd just bump me. He wouldn't give me $1 million after I beat him up.
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson reveals what Kevin Holland said to him during UFC Orlando main event. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson knew he had a fight on his hands in the UFC Orlando main event, but it was probably the first time he actually shared a conversation with his opponent mid-fight. According to Thompson, he and Holland agreed they would engage in a striking battle, and each lived up to that promise, at least during the early part of the fight. He told me in the first round, "I'm not taking you down." "All right, sounds good to me." It was kind of one of those handshakes we had in the first round. Nobody was going to go down. Listen to what Wonderboy had to say.
I think I fell down in the first round. He let me back up. He told me in the first round, he's like, "Hey, I'm not taking you down." I'm like, "All right, man, sounds good to me." So yeah, it was kind of one of those handshakes we had in the first round. Nobody was going to go down.
Was he telling you to slow down in there at some points?
He was telling me to slow down, and I was telling him I'm sorry the entire time. He was like, "Oh, you got me good." I was like, "I'm sorry, man. You got me good. Oh, I'm sorry." Yeah, it was fun. He's hilarious.
You sort of said a couple of things that were exchanged there, but what other stuff was being said in there, and any ones that stand out to you?
Whenever we headbutted each other, he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay. Keep fighting, keep fighting." We had some fun conversations in there. At the very end, he started to shoot. I was like, "Hey, I thought you weren't going to shoot, man." He's like, "I got to do what I got to do."
The bout was eventually stopped after Holland's coaches waved off the fight at the end of the fourth round, which gave Wonderboy the win. The performance put Thompson back on track following consecutive losses to Gilbert Burns and Belal Muhammad in his previous outings. Jorge Masvidal stops massive backstage brawl from breaking out between fighters. Jorge Masvidal is no stranger to out-of-competition confrontations. However, Gilbert was instrumental in preventing one from taking place during the Icon FC6 pre-fight event. The UFC welterweight superstar was caught on camera playing mediator between two fighters who wanted to go at each other. Acting as the voice of reason, Masvidal told the two men that they have an upcoming fight and that they should just wait till then. "You get suspended, guys. You don't make money, bro. You're fighters. Save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow," yelled the Street Judas. Here's the video.
One little boy, I don't know you.
Hey, Alex. Yo, you need to chill, bro. Just chill. Alex, come on. Come on, Alex, come on.
You get suspended, guys. You don't make money. We're all fighters. Save it for tomorrow. Get your money tomorrow. Get your fucking money tomorrow. You're not getting paid if you fight anybody right now. Stop. Stop. Get your fucking money tomorrow. No 3 people tomorrow here watching you fight tomorrow.
Yeah. Street Jesus. And let's not fuck up Mother Dog's show anyway. Let's go.
Conor McGregor settles bus attack lawsuit with Michael Chiesa. Back in 2018, Conor McGregor infamously threw a dolly at a bus windshield, with the flying glass cutting Michael Chiesa and forcing him out of his UFC 223 bout with Anthony Pettis. McGregor previously pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and reached a plea deal where he would avoid jail time. The former UFC champion was also sued by Chiesa for the incident, and 4 years later, the matter has been resolved. McGregor and Chiesa's attorneys have filed documents stating that both parties have agreed not to proceed with the lawsuit, and it cannot be refiled in the future. According to a report from MMA Fighting, a settlement was reached, although the terms and monetary figures weren't revealed. Chiesa originally sued McGregor for claims such as negligence, negligent infliction of emotional distress, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and assault and battery. Paulo Costa finds Chimaev's call-out of Pereira utterly hilarious. UFC middleweight Paulo Costa fancies Khamzat Chimaev's chances against Alex Pereira, but believes the matchup will never happen. Earlier this month, Chimaev stated that despite the UFC actively attempting to lock him into a matchup with Colby Covington at welterweight, he wants to step up to middleweight to face Pereira in his native Brazil. It's a prospect that Costa, in a recent interview with Submission Radio, said has a laughable chance of happening. The 31-year-old literally chuckled at the possibility of Pereira versus Chimaev. But if the matchup were to happen, he believes it wouldn't go well for his fellow Brazilian.
In Rio, yeah, he wants to beat Alex on Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, but he's smart. He's smart. I think if he fought Alex, it will be a big problem to Alex because Alex has no grappling. You know, MMA, bro, is so different of kickboxing. But yeah, you know, I think the odds is against Alex if the fight happen, but I don't think they will be done. I don't think that the fight will happen.
Costa also noted Khamzat's opportunism in wanting to fight Pereira and not himself. "I try to fight him. I asked him to fight him a couple weeks ago. He said, 'No, I am still at 170. Are you not going to 185? But he saw a huge opportunity to get the belt easily. Do you think Chimaev versus Pereira will happen, or should Chimaev fight Costa instead? Let us know in the comments." Tai Tuivasa reacts to UFC Orlando brutal knockout loss. UFC heavyweight contender and fan favorite Tai Tuivasa has spoken out following his loss to Sergei Pavlovich at UFC Orlando. In a recent Instagram post, Tuivasa gave his first comments on being on the losing end of a brutal knockout. "Got done tonight," Tuivasa posted. "Big love to my team, thank you for all y'all do. Congrats to Sergei Pavlovich. Got me first, rocked me hard, couldn't recover. Time to come home, see my family, be back in the area and regather. Last but not least, Orlando. Wow, what a crowd, y'all really turned up tonight. I didn't get to put on a show and a shoey tonight. My bad, I will be back. All my fans. Sit yas a." Tuivasa remains a matchup nightmare for most heavyweights with his one-punch knockout power. While there wasn't a post-fight shoey this time around, he'll look to get back on track in 2023. That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.